It's Tuesday, September 5th, 2023. Please comment, like, and subscribe. We're talking about my team, talking about the courtside report. Uh, big, big game dropping in a couple of days, couple short days actually. And I don't know what all we can expect. I know we can expect quite a bit. There's quite a bit changed from what I've seen. There's differences in different modes. There's different badges. There's different SIGs. There's different recordings of players that they're putting in the games. There's all kinds of stuff that's. Let's see if I got kicked out of my own space again. Sorry, it appears I got kicked out of my own space again. At least it happened early. I've been having a little bit of trouble with X lately, just today. But hey, that's what happens. You got to plan on the fly, right, Jimmy? Plan on the fly.
You got to.
You have to.
You got to be able to adapt. And trust me, I learned that with journalism.
Oh yeah, you don't get a degree in journalism unless you've done some adapting and changing your game on the fly.
Got to. How about the quarterback? Toughest position in sports, in my opinion. You got to be able to call an audible. You see something different. We've all seen that clip. If you're even the most casual of a football fan like me, Clay Matthews thinks he has Cam Newton read. Cam Newton says, "Oh, you've been watching film. I'll watch this." Then they score a touchdown. So you got to be able to audible sometimes.
Exactly, audible, and that's kind of the approach to my team this year for 2K24 is a big time audible. Everything has changed from what I was accustomed to. See, I knew what I was getting into in 23 because it seemed like a lot of the basics of it were from 21 still.
Yep, sure.
And now looking at 24, you know, and it happened again, and it happened again. So. I'll try to get Jimmy back here. But what we were talking about, adjusting on the fly, and yeah, doing an audible. Hopefully, I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm having a little bit of trouble on my end. Apparently, it just kicks me out of my own space. It's gatekeeping. But maybe I'll try to get through. I'm just going to go through my win real quick instead of doing a whole intro, and then kind of get into the actual nuts and bolts of the courtside report. So hopefully things go well, and hopefully I can just relax because things happen like this. Things happen. We're talking about a video game, so if I can relax, everybody can relax, and it's all good. Okay, so my win was an unsuccessful recruiting trip to Salt Lake. Since the last space, I've been working a ton, but also got some time off. There was a holiday weekend for the USA, Labor Day, and so we had a 3-day weekend. And so the plan was to go down to Salt Lake. And my old running mate, my old park running mate, my son lives down there. So for me, it was more than just a little family outing. It was a recruiting trip. And so we get down there on Friday night. We hang out. I talk 2K. He listens a little bit. Talk some more 2K. And then Saturday comes, we have an amazing brunch. I didn't know I was a brunch person until I had this amazing meal. Eat local. Whenever you travel, eat local. I highly recommend that. And then we talk some more 2K, but then he starts talking about this game, Baldur's Gate. And so anybody that's a gamer probably knows about Baldur's Gate. It's the hot new RPG, I guess, Dungeons and Dragons. They own the rights to it, so they can go all in on whatever they go all in on. There's dexterity in the game, which got me excited about D&D. That's an old school phrase, but we went to Topgolf. Never been to Topgolf before, and still I'm talking 2K. We're golfing, we're swinging clubs. I'm talking 2K, and then more Baldur's Gate, and I'm thinking, okay, this is bad. This is going bad. And so Sunday, Nature Walk comes. I'm still talking 2K. I'm still in full recruiting mode, because I'm thinking I need him on my team, and I'll get to why I need him on my team here at the end. But I could tell as we were going, the more I was talking, the more he understood what a commitment if you want to be a grinder at 2K is, especially on the My Career side. You got to go all in to be a park legend, or whatever, the top 10 this year. You got to be in the top 10, which is saying a lot of all the people that play park. And so I could tell that this recruiting trip was unsuccessful. The trip was successful. The recruiting trip wasn't. But the reason I was so hard on recruiting Celtic for Life on my team is they're doing something this year, a logo tournament, Jimmy.
Yes, I'm familiar.
I would hope so. I'm hoping so. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I'm not familiar at all with that I'm hoping that you might be able to clear. Because next time we all chat, we'll all have played 2K24.
Yes, sir.
So this is the last night of reckless speculation, which I know Heck is into. Next time we talk, we'll have answers, and we'll probably even have more questions. So this logo tournament, can you tell me a little bit about this?
Yeah, I can. It was revealed to the public last Friday on the stream with Stax and Evan. And if you don't know who they are, they're with 2K. And basically, you fill out a sheet, and whether it's my team or whether it's my career, people are going to compete for prizes, whether it be VC or logos this year, and you kind of have to go on a streak to be able to get one. So I recommend folks fill out that form if you're interested. Think about teammate. I know you're thinking about teammates, of course.
Yes.
So whatever the case may be, make sure you guys fill those out if you're interested.
Because there's all kinds of rules. I know Heck, he tweeted out the link, and I know there was a link tweeted during that because I was watching that. But there's different rules you have to follow. There's certain things you can't have been banned and stuff, and I believe your teammates have to qualify for all this stuff. So you kind of got to plan ahead if you want to approach the logo tournament. You got to get your ducks in a row, is what I like to say, on the farm.
Well, I hope you've applied. I know you wanted one. So
absolutely, yeah. See, I'm apply, and I'll let the ducks fall in place later. If I can get in, because maybe that's the way. Maybe that's the recruitment thing. If somebody can get their foot in the door, and then the squad comes in. Maybe
we'll see what happens.
Have you applied, Jimmy?
No, I have not.
Okay, interesting. All right, well. So are there other ways of going about getting a logo besides a tournament?
We know that we were said on the stream that the first logo show will be on the 15th, which is next Friday already. And I would expect for the tournaments to continue to happen throughout the year. It could be a thing that happens a lot on Fridays. So I would say your favorite phrase, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yep, that's something I picked up in 2K23. I picked up a lot in 2K23. It's been a wild ride. I'm excited for 2K24, and I know I admit I am shoe made, and the shoe game came from the auction house. So The only reason anybody ever clicked my YouTube videos back at the beginning was they're like, huh? You can sell shoes for this much? Let's see if I got kicked out again. We actually made it pretty far before I got kicked out again. So what maybe I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get Stogie in here and just make Stogie a co-host and get Jimmy back up here. That way, at least somebody can lock in speakers. I know I've had this problem back when this was called Twitter. So, again, I'm sorry, but hey, it's a Twitter space. It happens, right? All right, I got Jimmy back. I should write down while we're talking notes, so every time I get kicked out, I can pick back up on where we are. I have no idea what we were just talking about.
Being kicked out?
Yeah, it's me that I have to reconnect to the space. Yep, it's 100% me. So, what I was gonna do, if Stogie, are you able to stick around to the end of the space? I know it's a lot to ask.
Yes, that's not a problem, Tim.
Okay, I'm gonna make you a honorary co-host. Just don't feel like you have to do anything else besides just jam and tell me about what you're gonna do in 24. But just so maybe it can make this a little more stable. Might work. It might not work at all. You never know. All right, perfect. Okay, I'm sorry, Jimmy. What I lost track of what we were talking about. 2K probably.
Yeah, you said you picked up a lot in 23. I said to stay tuned.
Yes.
And then you were talking about how in the beginning of your YouTube channel, folks that found you because you said you were a shoemate.
Yep, because of the shoes.
I'll let you cook and finish that, but I have some thoughts on that.
Yep, and that's what 100%, because one of the things that everybody has always needed for the last 2Ks is a way to make MT, a way to make in-game currency, and the auction house, knowing the auction house, and there's a lot of games that are like that, and a lot of people, Carlo most of all, and out again. Maybe it's not going to work. Let's see if I can. Am I still in? Maybe it didn't work as well. But I tell you what, the YouTube video is going to sound funny because I'm talking to myself whenever I get kicked out. So, and I'm trying not to curse. So, But back to the auction house. And a lot of snipers and stuff. A lot of people make sniping videos. Auction house has made YouTubers into YouTubers. And that's kind of how I felt at first. And now, Jimmy, I'll let you elaborate on that.
Yeah, I'm interested. I think for you specifically, you can make videos on how people can make MT this year. What does that look like? How is it different? Because I understand you said you were a shoemate. It might be something totally different this year that you could do that you could talk about it. We saw a lot in the vlog, sure, but none of us have our hands on it yet, so we don't know.
Yeah.
And I still think that you can, or anybody really, but for you know this stuff, so you can go ahead and help people out. That's all I wanted to say.
All right. Well, I appreciate that. And then there's and Jay, even though there was the hollow cards, that's going to be another thing, a certain way to work the market on those. And he's been doing that. That wasn't just auction house. It was just a kind of another niche. So people can find ways. I guess people were streaming this game before the auction house, before MyTeam.
Yes.
That's and it's kind of cool. Like when you get to a new city and you see new things and you're not sure. I think I compared it to the first time you play a new Call of Duty map. It's kind of cool getting lost and not sure where you're going.
Yeah, and I'm just looking forward to seeing what you do and what a lot of people do this year, because it's obviously, they said foundational changes, and I felt like that was a pretty good way to describe it, because this, in a lot of ways, this is going to look a lot different than what we've ever seen.
Oh yeah, and one thing you said, and what a lot of others do. The one other thing on my notes before we do kind of look more into, because I got questions. I got questions about my team for you, Jimmy. I really do.
Oh.
but there's other things going on, because I saw a tweet from 2K that they're doing a live stream launch event tomorrow on Twitch.
Yep.
Do you know any more about that? Like what time it is, or what they're doing? You can't play it tomorrow, right?
No.
Okay.
But they did this last year. It's going to be in New York again, and it's going to be at 7 o'clock Eastern and p.m. I'm almost positive they'll do giveaways and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I think it'll be worth tuning into their Twitch channel to see if you can get yourself a free copy of the game. 2K24, we've moved on.
Okay, so no end game 2K23 cards or anything like that for the giveaway? No? Okay.
I mean, who knows, but I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it, So...
And that's most likely like Stax and Evan and the guys from the 2K or the 2K TV on Twitch.
So they said it's going to be Alexis and Stax hosting it, so it should be fun. They did something like this last year, and I'm for sure going to tune in. I hope you guys do too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, you got to tune in. It's good stuff, and other stuff on my community events. One thing here, I do have to thank Jimmy and Floki again for the space back in 2K23. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then also another thing on the community events, Jazz's Our Team podcast is back, and they added Unbeatable Jacob to the lineup, so they have Jazz and co-host Josh and Cheap Ludes and Matt Mojo now. So it was a great listen. That's something to look forward to on Sundays. My team centric. Got to shout out my IRL fantasy football league. That's a I think I did pretty well, but we'll see. I always think I did pretty well. And another person's game you're familiar with. There's a podcast, the Coast to Coast podcast with Project Elevate, Spatial Jones, and Call Me Meech.
Yes, sir.
You got to rub elbows with Spatial Jones in the Big Apple recently.
Yeah, I did.
So that's funny. Yeah, and that's awesome. And then Jimmy Crack Corn does spaces as well. My team centric. And then also that they do touch a little bit on my team, but also the art culture as we see it with Green Lantern, King Chill, Ramsey, and Jay. They typically happen on Saturdays. And there's all kinds of other great spaces that aren't my team centric. That's because looking at all the stuff popping up before this game, it's neat seeing collaborations of people that you quote unquote know.
For sure, no doubt about it. I mean, I still have the screenshots of the spaces that Floki used to host, and now I just tagged along. I have one from June 30th, 2021. And you might be wondering, Jimmy, you're a freak. How do you remember that date? Well, it was the day the Taco Fall Spotlight Sim gauntlets came out, and that was the day I got my PS5. Oh. So we had spaces before then, I believe, but that was one that I remember very well. So yeah, it's pretty neat to see what you've done with it, because almost every Tuesday since Thanksgiving, you've been waffling and have had people along, so I know you're shouting out people and thanking people, and I appreciate the love, but all the thanks and credits should go to you, because you've been cooking for a while.
Hey, I only started doing spaces because you and Floki weren't, really. That's it, right? Because you did a couple before, and then I know you guys are streaming and all that stuff. You got your other stuff, so that's because I was waiting for the next space, and you guys never really fired it up in 2K23, so I pretty much had to really
lock in. Take advantage of an opportunity when I'm just waffling and doing a bunch of nonsense. Go ahead and fill it in the area of need.
Yes, see a need, fill a need, right? That's off a cartoon I watched at some point. Robots, maybe a Disney show. And then real quick, we're going to talk about how great Cabrillo is and the fact he's playing Starfield. And 2K Smooth says someone has to grab the logo for us. Hey, we got Jimmy, two-time logo. Floki's had the logo twice. Hollow J's had it once. Blazin' Rick's had it. TG Bucks. I'm trying to remember all the My Team side logos. I'm probably missing some. Or maybe I caught them all, but there's no way I got all of them, right? Because there's like 700.
Jazz.
Of course, Jazz. See, that's why I should never do lists unless I wrote them down and reviewed them. So yeah, we'll stop the list right there.
If I didn't remember that. So I'm glad I clutched that one up.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Absolutely. Yeah, and that's awesome. And that's something to look forward to because, yeah, if I guess we find out a week from Friday how the logo shows are going to work moving forward.
Yeah, I think so. But I would.
Again, this is reckless speculation. All right.
If I were in your shoes, I would focus more of your attention to the gauntlets themselves.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm locking in. Oh yeah. I'm watching film. I'm reviewing other people's tapes. Yeah. I'm figuring, who's gonna carry me? Who's gonna carry me?
I think that this year again, like I said, is going to be different in a lot of ways. But that's another way it's going to be different because I know it's something that they have been planning for a long time, and it's something that I'm looking forward to seeing. We got our first taste of it at Community Day. Shout out to all the guys who went out there, got logos, like I said last week, and the boys who will be crowned first.
Fanta's Squad, is that what they're called? Fanta's Squad.
I think Hollywood was the captain.
Okay, but it just seemed like everybody, because I was watching clips and everybody was saying that. Everybody was saying, yeah, shout out Fanta.
Oh no, I mean, dude, Fanta would have wiped all of us. Like he was easily the best player there.
and that's my concern about the logo being in a competitive setting. I'm pretty comp. I'm a sweat, but for other people that aren't quite as good as I am, I guess. For someone that spends half their time in the menus like I do, it's interesting. I guess you could say interesting that they're doing it like that. Intimidating, unless you have a squad. Unless like that's why I tweeted that picture. That's me and my two kids. That picture from I think it was 2019 or 18 or. All the years blend together, but for real, when we were playing together, and it was my youngest son who would always talk us into it. We would go after streaks. We would always look for streaks and try to break them. And against some great players that I'd probably recognize names now, seeing some of them because they were crazy streaks. And he was always like, "No, let's do it." And we lose two, and we'd get in line, and we'd somehow win. And then we'd start our own streak. And I would take those guys, and we knew how to beat the two-play shots in the Paint Beast. You play sides, and it's easy. You let them dribble out of position and make a bad shot. We could do that, where you can't do that with randoms, really. And so there's a lot being said about park characters and how, people do have clans and squads, and they run with people this over and over and over again, because that's how you get great. That's not being good at the game. That's how you become great at the game.
No, it's all about chemistry. And listen, the build I made is not good. I just want to set the record straight. I just want everybody to know that real quick. But no, you're absolutely right. It's about what the other person is going to do before they even do it. And whether you're communicating on the mic or not, if you build up that chemistry with somebody for such an amount of time, I kind of knew how that felt in co-op this year for a while. Big shout out to my teammates for who carried me. But I know
which teammates? You can shout out your teammates. Go ahead. This is the shout out spot.
For sure. No, I mean.
CW Ruiz, he was one, right?
Yep.
He cooks. And
then Jay for Trey, a.k.a. Parker. But, no, I mean, we point in time. So there you go.
Yeah. And I guess as long as there's other ways besides the competitive logo is good, because I'm fine with the ceremonial logo. You get a doctorate from a college because of something else you did. Even though you're not a doctor, take that, right? Oh. Mm-mm-mm. I'm sorry. I got kicked out again. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
This might be an odd interview if I ask you something and then I don't hear what you say. And so maybe you might be able to help me out. And I know there was a so what I have on screen for the YouTube listeners or YouTube viewers is the courtside report. And I know a couple things came up about, like the diamond. One thing that I thought was odd, or I thought it was interesting, that they said the max card level is going to be diamond for the first 2 seasons.
Correct.
Yeah. And I see that as, okay, so you could invest a lot of whatever currency that you have in the game in a diamond, knowing that it's probably going to run for 2 seasons. That's my first instinct on that.
Could be. You could definitely do that.
Well, how do you see it? Does knowing, because we didn't know last year what the season. Well, I guess we had the trophy case, so we kind of knew.
Yeah.
But not knowing, we don't have much of a roadmap as far as my team players, as far as look ahead. But now we know. What is it, 12 weeks into the season that Max is still going to be diamond?
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. And here's what I like is I like using lower tier cards, and there's a viability. So we saw the Jeremy Lin card, right? I pointed that out. So what it seems like, you go ahead and pick the Knicks. Shout out to Sloth, I see you in here. And Jeremy Lin is your starter card. He starts at gold, he goes to emerald. And then you can get the rest of the starter cards for playing down. So, with that being said, it's like I like to use lower tier cards. There's use for the emeralds and the sapphires of the world. I know that people were saying at the beginning of 23, oh, we miss having the sapphires and the rubies in the premium packs. Well, now, if you have sapphire, especially ruby cards or amethyst cards, are going to be some of the most powerful cards for these first 2 seasons. So it's going to be a test where it's going to be how good are you at the game? How good are you at dealing with lower tier cards, things of that nature. So that's one thing that I look forward to for sure.
Oh yeah, and that's the fun of it too, and seeing how the players are acquired. Because we did get the token market players for Series 1 last year, so we had access to pretty much the entire, current roster with the right amount of tokens.
Yeah.
And now with the player market, I'm curious. I'm just curious to see how we acquire cards if it's outside of packs. How do we do it, Jimmy? I know, Dom, you get rewards, reward cards and stuff, but still, the auction house was the go-to to get cards.
And we'll find that answer out very soon. I know some of us are going to New Zealand. I'm there right now, actually.
Oh.
But
I hear it's beautiful this time of year.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I'm intrigued by, and to answer your question, we have to be on the lookout for the quote-unquote deal of the day. I know they had a picture of Ruby Iguodala. Mm-hmm. So the answer is going to be the player market, and that's the biggest question on my mind right now. And that's the biggest question I think on everybody's mind right now is what are the prices going to look like?
Oh yeah.
So
if they're saying 28K for a Ruby Patrick Ewing, that's on the screen right now.
That was a quick sell.
That
was a quick sell.
Okay, so if that's a quick sell on that, what does a Ruby look like it's going to cost? That's it's a question you can't really answer. Again, reckless speculation. But if that's the quick sell value of a card you pull, and you can't buy them in the auction house, so I guess it's odd to see how, because I guess some people did you play the WWE game?
Yeah, I play it often. often, actually.
Okay. And there, that there's no auction house there.
Correct.
And do you see similarities from what you've seen? What my team is hinting to what's going on with the WWE game?
Yeah, there's definitely similarities for sure.
So what's your go-to spot to get cards in WWE?
Well, they have a lot of locker codes to make up for it. Mm-hmm. You have live events, proving grounds, which is very similar to a domination type of thing. The live events, you can get like exclusive cards. So, yeah, like I said, Tim, it's going to look way different. So my plan is to stream on Thursday. And I'll be more of a menu streamer than I've ever been. So anybody who has questions, we can kind of answer them together. I remember last year I streamed for over 9 hours. It's still my longest stream. And people were asking, what are the trophy case players? Who are the trophy case players for the Sixers and the Hawks and all that different stuff? So my plan is to just, obviously I'll play, but I'll just sit in the menus and we'll answer the questions that folks have, because there's going to be a lot. I mean, I have a lot, right? We all do. This is way different. And like you said, at a fundamental level, 21, 22, 23, we're all pretty similar. I mean, there were for sure differences. Now this year is totally different than anything we've ever seen. So.
Oh yeah, and the double XP coins. You mentioned something like a live event. You can see something like that really drawing interest. How do you earn those? How do you cash them in? Do you know anything about that yet?
Well, we do actually.
Okay, and I say do you because I don't, and it may have already been out there. It's just something I haven't.
That's fine. It's a great question. That I can for sure answer. Oh. So they had the trailer with LD and Shakedown for the My Career stuff, and they showed the first couple levels. Now remember, everybody, when you guys are leveling up in my team, you're also leveling up in my career. So I got the picture of it, and I'm looking at it right here. So they show like the first 5 or 6, and at level 2, we're getting a 30-minute double XP coin. And if you've never played in my career, you don't know how they work, you can go ahead and pop that whenever you want to. If you say, okay, I only got 30 minutes, but if I want to get double XP, well, you can go ahead and do that, and you're being rewarded for playing the game. Like I always say, I'm very bad at MLB, but you can be the worst MLB player and still get XP. So, very important to note, guys. Gone are the days of scoring 30 points 6 times with Tony Kukoc. Okay? So, we're in a situation now where you can go ahead and pop the XP coin whenever you want and be rewarded for just playing the game. We don't know what that looks like yet, and dynamic goals are another way to get XP this year.
That's I'm looking at the Gerald Green dynamic goal.
Yep.
I hope they have more of those like 8 steals and 12 blocks for.
No, because some of those dynamic goals were out of control for sure. And the hope is that they're more manageable like that, especially because through the gameplay, where I said you get the XP for playing the game, or that dynamic goals, those are the 2 ways we're going to get XP this year. There'll still be agendas for other stuff that you can see on your screen. But with that being said, you got to watch out for the dynamic goals and the other stuff and use the XP coins whenever you want. And they said they'll have double XP events coming to my team like how they do for Park.
Oh, yeah. And so do you see yourself as a dual streamer?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, I'll for sure play my career this year, especially if I know I'm leveling up in both,
Okay, because I've seen you dabble, but a lot of that dabbling means the wheel spin or the prize thing, or the pick pick the winners, which is great.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see what happens. I encourage all of you to go into this year with an open mind because it's going to look very different for everybody. Whether you're playing Park, my career, whether you're playing my team, whatever the case may be, it's going to look different than what we've been accustomed to.
Oh, and that's half the fun right there. Have you heard anything about the free agent cards not burning up contracts in co-op? Did you guys get the inside info on that at all?
No.
All right.
I'm not sure about all that.
Urban legend. Yep. Reckless speculation. That's fine. No problem. No problem.
We'll have to wait and see. But we do know that we're all getting a free agent Braun at level 1. So when we log in, and then you get a free agent Kobe. That's 99 overall if you finish. I think it's 8 stars of the Mamba moments. So there you go.
Okay, and the Mamba moments are kind of the same as the Jordan challenge, or not the same, but maybe the same principle as the Jordan challenges from 2K23, or no?
It's very similar, yep.
Okay.
Fewer challenges, and you're only getting 21 stars this time, and you're getting rewarded as you go. With the Jordan challenge, you had to get 40 out of a possible 45 stars. Nice voice crack there, Jimbo.
Hey.
But now I think it's 8, 15, and 21. So you're going to go ahead and get those. And the reason why I'm talking about them is because the Kobe coach, they talked about it in the blog. Coaches are going to look way different this year. It's going to be dynamic rather than just a coach with the system. So I think I would look into doing the Mamba moments because of the Kobe coach. Who knows? He might be one of the best coaches early on. I know they talked about a Michael Malone, Pink Diamond coach, but I'm assuming he's pretty hard to get. Oh. So definitely look at guys. If you think you read everything in the blog, read it again.
That's how I'm kind of looking at it right now. But this is great, so I can go now. What does this mean? And I got the professor right here, so this is great. This is great. And yeah, I guess I didn't do the Jordan challenge, but I think I was still played enough of 23 aside from the Jordan challenge. But
yeah, I think you did. I would say so. I didn't mean to call you out, but I saw the friends list. That was OD, man. I was like, wow, Tim put in a lot of hours.
That's not entirely true. I didn't know that stuff showed up. I laughed because yes, there was a lot of game time going on with this. The things were different back in season 1 and season 2 of 2K23. For those of you not familiar, there was a player lock situation that was hilarious.
That's right. There you go.
Since it's in the past, we can laugh about it. It was hilarious. It was awesome. It was since it's a year of past, we can laugh about it. Right? That you could player lock an unlimited. You could pick a player and start an unlimited game, and your CPU would play against the other squad. And in season 1 and season 2, man, your team was overpowered on offense and defense. And so, yeah, that's I put in a lot of time. I recruited my wife as a coach and my youngest daughter as a coach, and we were playing a lot of games. And it was the way to go. And I was crusading for that at the beginning of the year because a lot of people were saying, "Hey, there's not enough time to do this, not enough time to do this." And I'm thinking, I got all the time in the world because of this one little thing right here. So when I actually have time to play the game, I can play it whatever I want. But there was and I know a lot of people hated it. I understand that, and it was very polarizing at the time, but it was very beneficial for those that used it. And but yeah, it adds up to some hours. I guess that's the long story short. It adds up to, almost,
over 200. It was just crazy, man. 200 days or something.
Hey.
That's what it was. Okay, so 2 quick things. So number 1, with the Mamba moments, you can Kobe lock. So just letting you know about that. If you want to go ahead and do that, I did that in my video on it.
Okay.
And I actually played a guy limited not too long ago who was player locked to the Diamond T-Mac from Season 3, the Ice one, when he was a featured player. So that did not end well for him. But I thought about you when I saw that. It was it was in August. The player locked to Diamond T-Mac over here. So there you go.
Yeah, that's an odd strategy. Yeah, player lock to... Oh, and then I got kicked again. See, for the YouTube video, whenever I say "and then I got kicked again," that means I got kicked out of my own space. So what I'm doing right now...
Sorry about that.
What I'm doing right now is I'm filling time as I reconnect to my own space. Oh, sorry, I'm just talking to the YouTube watchers as I get kicked out and have to come back again. But,
I gotcha.
Yeah. And so, okay. So the Diamonds are... Kyrie Irving is the big one they're talking about. And then he's the short-term reward and Brandon Roy is the long-term reward. Is that what I'm seeing?
Kyrie is level 40.
Okay.
How we've been accustomed to in the past. Now, again, just to reiterate, if you guys are grinding my career and get to level 40, boom, you've got Kyrie and everything else that comes before him. And then Brandon Roy is what they're talking about is the ultimate Season 1 reward. You complete every mode. You collect all the players with the tokens, which is new, and how they're doing it. So there you go. Brandon Roy is definitely going to be a trickier card to get. It'll definitely require a lot of time. But obviously, big name coming back. We haven't seen him since 21. I loved him in 20. We'll see what happens.
Oh, yeah.
I was willing to grind. Yeah, Kyrie is level 40.
Kyrie's level 40. And Roy's coming back. Do you know of any other names that might be coming back to my team?
Well, just because I want to make this very clear, just because we see them in Mamba Moments does not mean they're going to get a MyTeam card. I just wanted to clear that up. But with that being said, another name right off the top of my head that I was showing in my video was Kwame Brown. He was a name that fans were excited about. You can see a guy like Jordan Farmer in there. So there's definitely some names in the Mamba Moments. Kwame Brown going against Kobe and also on his team, kind of neat. So we'll see what happens.
That's awesome. Was there any Wizards Jordan by any chance?
Yep. That's who I played against. So
I remember that. That'd be something. That'd be a card.
Let's see what happens. But you have the Kobe versus MJ moment is when MJ is at the tail end, and Kobe is really about to enter what I would consider to be his prime. And I had 88 with Kobe, and MJ had a pedestrian 12. Really a non-factor in the game. You got to limit him to under 20. So it was pretty fun. Kobe scored every point.
Okay. Was any flash pausing involved?
Yeah, you know me. I flash pause and CPU all the time.
I respect that. Sometimes they deserve it. Sometimes they really deserve it. And so there's something else that you can pick your reward as far as the vault, ball drop. Is that a thing? Is that real?
They mix around the prizes.
Okay.
So
it's random?
No, we won't see the vault in Triple Threat offline. We'll see it in other places. So the blog talked about that. Sorry, guys, I don't have all that memorized off the top of my head. I know I actually did touch grass today, believe it or not.
Good on you.
For 2 seconds. But definitely, and again, that's why I said read the blog again. Things are mixed around. Another change that is made. The Clutch Time Online is now a 24-second shot clock. So there's definitely going to be differences. So some of us are going to boot up on Thursday. Obviously, the game comes out Friday for everybody. So we'll see what happens. We'll definitely see what happens. It's going to look way different, like I said.
Oh yeah, and salary cap. I hear that's the replacement for limited.
Correct. So limited and draft are donezo. So a little hurt. Limited was my favorite mode, but
you were a limited merchant. I heard a merchant.
I was. I will be forever. It was my favorite mode since its inception in 21. But salary cap is seems to be an upgraded version of limited. You know how Beyonce once said, "Let me upgrade you." Well, that appears to be she has upgraded limited to salary cap, and I'll see myself out. I'm sorry.
Hey, that's good. That's good. That's good.
Oh my gosh! I can't believe I just said that. Okay.
And also,
anyways, what else you got?
moving on, other multiplayer modes. There's an unlimited championship thing, best of 7. I see Jokic holding the trophy.
Yep. Got to win 4-7 in unlimited. Cap and unlimited, but I know a big change for co-op. I really want to mention this before I go. You can now load in just by yourself and load in with 2 random people that are looking for squads. So there you go. You can load into the co-op against the AI with random people. That sounds good to me.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I got kicked again. Of course, I didn't hear part of what you said. Struggling over here, struggling. But hey, that's. I wonder if it's the weather. I'm blaming it on the weather. There's a big storm that was moving in. So, yeah.
Stay safe.
Oh yeah. I hide inside. That's what I do. When I don't have to go outside to touch grass, I don't.
W.
And so, are you planning on participating in the unlimited weekend thing? Since they did take away your limited, Jimmy. They took away your limited, and you do have a comp side, whether you like it to admit it or not.
I am more intrigued to see what salary cap is all about, because the first half, you got a first half, and then you're going to do how they do it in the All-Star games, where the appropriate phrasing is the elam ending, where they make it a target score, which is, I have seen that in person. I saw that in the G League this summer. I saw it with when I saw Halliburton and Obi Toppin play. So it is definitely going to add a different layer of excitement, where you at that point you're just chasing the target score in the second half of those salary cap games. For me right now, I'm more intrigued by salary cap than anything else when it comes to online stuff. But again, like that co-op change I mentioned is huge because. So what if your friends are out touching grass?
Exactly. Because and then that really gives you the ability to bring the park. Because you could hop on a spot in park as a random, and eventually you'll get a game where you just don't have the ability to play it in 2K23 for co-op, but now you do the lineup, which and that adds a whole nother level to the fun of it. And I'm just kind of looking through. I got to the Jeremy Lin. I believe you and him are buddies. Your boy Jeremy Lin is what?
Hey, Jeremy Lin, my dad met him. Mm-hmm. And yes, he commented on my Instagram post, left me a thumbs up. But I've told the story before, but I was in high school. I was a junior in high school. And my dad just sends me a pic of with Jeremy Lin in Chicago. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. Oh. So it was really neat.
And how about collector reward? Did you go for the collector level at all in 23?
No, I did not. But I will say that the best reward I got out of all that was Don Nelson. Once I got him, I ran him as my coach for the rest of the year, and it was kind of neat to have the Don on the sideline. So we know Kobe is the collector reward. We know it's going to be in season 6. The blog came out and told us. Which I know season 6 seems like it's going to be a while from now, right? It's going to be around March, April, in the springtime. But who knows? I mean, like I said, we talked about it. It's going to look way different. The pace, I keep saying that. Take a shot every time Jimmy says it's going to be different. But we're in a situation where the Diamonds are going to be at the top. And it's just... I know people talk about pacing. So it seems like we'll have better pacing than we've had in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, diamonds for two seasons. We were into Galaxy. Well, yeah, we were into Galaxy Opals season 2 last year.
In season 1.
Season 1, did we get Galaxy Opals? Oh, I guess if you were on the grind, you could knock some things out. Oh yeah, Galaxy Opals was the next tier up. You got 5 pink diamonds, and you were already there.
Yep. Wow. Yep. So very late season 1, early season 2. So there you go. I mean, it's obviously no mention was made of the trophy case. So that's another thing that's going to be different. I know you enjoyed the trophy case, so it was fun to see how you souped up your Clyde.
But there was no mention that there wasn't a trophy case as well.
We'll see, but it appears unlikely. Again, ruthless speculation. What do you say? Reckless speculation. There you go.
Yep, reckless speculation, and that's good. That's that's what gets us excited for a new game. Anytime a new game comes out, and that's what it does feel like. The MyTeam mode of 2K23 feels like a new game. I know there's a lot of other stuff on the park side of new badges and new builds and everything that I don't know. I didn't play the last couple years on that side, but for the MyTeam side, it feels like almost a total rebuild.
In a lot of ways, yeah. A lot of things we know are going to be. Like I said, they said it best, I think, foundational changes. Oh, yeah. So we'll see. A lot of questions to be answered here, whether you made the trip to New Zealand or not.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so we got through that. I do have a couple questions for you, though, Jimmy, you in particular. Maybe not concerning the game. But
is everybody sick and tired of me waffling? No, I'm just kidding.
hey, this is what I got you up here. If I can get the professor up here, we got to get the waffles out, because let's say between you and me, not to criticize, but I've been missing the Waffle House in the morning. All right.
It's okay.
So
you still popped in.
Yeah, we did. Yep. And that's half on me because of work schedule and everything like that too. But it's a lot easier to know that you can pop in during a 4-hour stream than than trying to pop in on what have you been doing, like 25-minute streams lately?
Yeah, what, about an hour and a half? I mean, I'm trying to save myself for the next couple of days, because I know what Thursday's going to look like. It's just going to be a long stream.
Oh yeah. Yep. All right. And so how about a recent win for you, Jimmy? Recent win.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. Just this weekend, I had the whole weekend to myself, and I was just able to think about a lot of different stuff and just prepare myself mentally for what's to come. I just hit 900 subscribers on YouTube today. We talked about that in my chat today, so that went through. I know during my 25-minute stream. So thanks very much for that. Means a lot, because I never thought I'd have a YouTube channel. So just trying to get like you in that department.
Oh, hey, shoes. It's all shoes, man. It's all them shoes.
And Looney.
Looney. No more loonies. No more auction house. Oh. No, that's good. That's good when you can take a minute, step back, and give yourself a time of peace. That's one thing that we did the nature walk thing down in Salt Lake, a beautiful little reserve of I was trying to show pictures of it to Raul, and he's like, yeah, that's not nature made. Look at that. People put all that in that place. And I was like, but no, that's not the point. The nature was the point, because he saw the path and everything and said, yeah, that's not natural. That's not nature. But for what it was, if you can get out into a place like that where you just have time, especially when you wander around with family, and you're just, looking at nature and things are peaceful, and before you get your face locked into the blue screen and don't touch grass for 6 months,
It sounds like you and I have something in common where we've been to North Dakota. Is that true?
I have. I've been to North Dakota. Lived in Minnesota, but spent so much time passing through North Dakota that I've stayed in Jamestown many, many times. So yeah, it's along the way, so you get used to not seeing the sun for a while, and so it's easy to lock in. All
Bro,
right.
we have something in common, man. You gotta love it.
I'm just, I think, a little younger. That's it. If it just turned 56.
Love you.
So there's been multiple changes. There's a vast amount of changes between 2K23 to 2K24 My Team. If if you had to pick one, we went through a bunch of them. If you had to pick one that's got you, and it doesn't have to be the most excited, but one thing that's got you excited, and for everybody else, this will be a longer form. I want other things that got you excited.
I mean, it's the joint progression between my team and my career is such a slam dunk. It like you think about later in the year when my career guys want to come to my team and use better tier cards, and we got a storm right here too. So, but if you're playing my career, you're leveling up in my team. If you're playing my team, it's the inverse. So that just seems like such a slam dunk to me. Where we can go ahead and do it however we want. We can bounce back and forth. We can make a build that's hopefully better than the build I made. Okay, so so that just seems like it's a slam dunk to fully unite the modes. Where the my career guys had a very reasonable gripe and pain point, I would say, where they're like, okay, we're earning my team rewards on our my career level path. So now that solves that problem where you're obviously playing my career to get the my career rewards, but then you're getting both at the same time.
Oh yeah. And so knowing that, does that change your approach to content creation?
Yeah, Tim, I'm going to be in my career regardless, right? I'm going to make a build. I'm going to make a player. I mean, I've played my career since its inception in 2K10. Okay, I was that Kobe was on the cover, and back then it was the D League, and I was often sent there to the 4-way Mad Ants because it's a skill issue, and I just wasn't that good. So my math teacher, his name was Bob, he would ask me, he would say, Jimmy, are you in the D League still? Are you ever going to get to the NBA? True story. So back in the 2K10 days, okay? So I enjoyed playing my career. In 2K20, I had 3 different builds. I was playing it a ton back then. So I'm going to play it regardless. I'm going to make some content around it regardless. Okay. I don't want to ever put myself in a box. I just want to be doing just a lot of different stuff. There you go with different again. My goodness.
Yeah, for this being the same game, a lot of differences, right? A lot of differences.
I think so. I think so.
It sounds like you're talking about my career as Jimmy the Sweat, not Jimmy the Streamer, though.
It's just Jimmy. If Jimmy wants to play, I'll play. If here I go talking to the third person.
Learn that from Cabrillo. Shout out Cabrillo again.
Exactly. Whatever it may be, I'll have the my career stuff. I'll have the my team stuff. Maybe I go back and forth between both, and that's how I level up. But the goal is still going to be to show people how they can level up in my team specifically. But like I said, it's just a slam dunk to me.
Oh yeah. It was crazy how it all worked. That I just kind of got the bug to get back into my career too, and then they announced that dual progression, and now it's a why not situation.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so where do you create content then for people? Because you say you're streaming, so are you going to be streaming during drop? What's that schedule look like again?
Yeah, so I posted everything here on this app that you're listening to right now, YouTube. I know it will be a little bit of a different story. Shout out to you for putting them on YouTube, by the way. But the time for New Zealand Eastern time is 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern on Thursday. So that's their time difference. I will be there. I will be streaming. Yes, I'll be streaming for my Xbox One before anybody has questions. That is my ticket to New Zealand. Okay. I'll pin a message at the top of my Twitch chat, where I will be streaming. So obviously, like I mentioned, YouTube, doing stuff on TikTok. You know the vibes. But the biggest thing is I'm just looking forward to seeing what's different about the same game.
Oh, sorry. Did you say Xbox One?
I did. I did. Now, stop you right there. I have a PS5. I'll be playing on my PS5. I'll probably be streaming on my PS5. Yes,
Perfect.
I have. But for as far as New Zealand goes, we are in a situation. I'm playing 2 accounts again, but we are. My Xbox One, crazy as it sounds, is my ticket to New Zealand. So there you go.
Hey, I like it. I like it. But the move, I guess, to get involved with crossplay is you got to go next gen.
Yep, and I'll be doing that for my PS5 for sure. So I'll be doing that from that console. But again, I mean the level 40 grind, just because it looks different this year, it's not going to stop. No. So it'll be fun.
And Kyrie is the level 40. So if I had to say something that I learned today, it's Kyrie. I saw Kyrie bouncing around the internet, but I was like, I don't know what. Diamond Kyrie, but now it makes sense. He's the level 40. That's why people were talking about him.
Yep. They talk about in the blog how the players, as you go along the way, have relations to Kobe, and I mean Kobe connected with so many people and touched so many lives. But obviously Kyrie was a student of his. They had a very close relationship. You can watch different interviews with Kobe and different clips where he talked about Kyrie. So definitely, I'm a huge Kyrie fan. There, I said it. I've always been a fan. Another guy my dad has met, and I have not. I was walking in high school, and my dad let me know he met Kyrie, so that was really neat. But I just I don't know. I just love watching him play. He makes basketball look like an art form.
And the whole Uncle Drew stuff, that campaign, that was hilarious.
Yep. Right. So I mean, hey, he by all intents and purposes, it looks like he's going to be a pretty powerful level 40 reward. Folks remember his diamond from 2K22. Defensively, he was lacking. Certainly a flawed card. I mean, it wasn't perfect by any stretch, but if you knew what you were doing, if you were in the right hands, he was very, very powerful.
Oh yeah, and that's a lot of cards, I guess. If you know what you're doing, that's the caveat right there. If you know what you're doing.
I think a strong level 40 reward to kick things off, and he certainly fits the theme of being tied with Kobe.
Absolutely, yeah, solid level 40, and there's also a bunch of solid people out in the community, Jimmy.
For sure.
But so before, and you're more than welcome to stick around, or I know you might have to go, but.
Yeah, I'll drop in as a listener and let you guys waffle.
One thing on the way out. One thing on the way out. If I could get 2 shout-outs, because we're talking about co-op, and I know Cabrillo, nobody's talking about how great Cabrillo is at co-op, and I can attest to that. I played with him, but I don't know if he'd be a good teammate for the logo tournament because of some past things that happened. So.
Oh, no.
No. So in a co-op style, and not between me and him, me and Cabrillo are great, but yeah, I guess you can't have been banned before, possibly. And there was a tweet, back mid-January, he was on that list. So
right,
yep.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, I'm still on the hunt. I haven't even been accepted. They haven't acknowledged me. They didn't even answer back my email for the next makers either. Come to think of it, or maybe I didn't check. I don't know. Maybe there's an email waiting. But if by any chance I do get accepted to a logo style tournament, yeah, I'm going to be sweating with some teammates. Going to be needing to lock in with some people that are able to do it. So if you were going to lock in with somebody, Jimmy, a couple people, for 2K24.
Look, I just wanted. I didn't enter the gauntlet, but. If there's a lot of people I want to shout out. Shout out to Nolan, for sure. He's been around. He's been before day one. And shout out to Heck for all the work that he's done, especially recently. There's a lot of people to shout out, for sure. I'd love to shout out all the folks in here right now. Obviously, you got Jimmy Crackcorn out there doing his thing. But I want to give Nolan and Heck their flowers and moment in the sun, because they've helped me out a lot, whether they realize it or not.
Oh, yeah, two awesome shout outs. Yeah, it's you can't really go wrong with shout outs, but you can sure nail them, which you did. So I
For sure.
appreciate you. And you're my shout out, Jimmy. I didn't know I'd become friends with you a year ago. I did not. That wasn't on my bingo card.
Same here.
But I'm really happy that things turned out the way that they did. I'm a better 2K player because of it. You know, better streamer, a streamer because of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're my shout out. So just to top your shout outs, I just wanted to top that and say again, thank you for your time.
Always, Tim. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to hearing what everybody else has to say. If you stuck around for over an hour and listened to me waffle, shout out to you. I apologize in advance, and I'm out. So you guys have fun.
If you stuck around to listen to Jimmy Waffle for an hour, that just means you've seen his streams and you're a fan. That's it. And you're wondering why it's only an hour. That's what it is. Wondering why it's only an hour. Another person I wonder I don't get to talk to very much. Isaac, how are you doing today?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you? I appreciate you being patient. I know a lot of times you don't have a ton of time to wait around on me, so I appreciate you being patient.
Hey, no problem.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
How about a recent win?
Just got the 100th home run with the home run derby Mookie.
Okay, and that's MLB The Show?
Yeah.
Whew, you are a sweat with that Mookie.
Yeah, been grinding on him.
And what are you doing right now? Are you doing the conquest maps, or what's your mode right now?
All of the conquest maps for the new season already.
Okay. So you're chomping at the bit for 2K24 or no?
Yeah.
I bet. Do you have any other recent wins you can tell us, Isaac?
I actually pulled a rookie Chet Holmgren this week.
A rookie Chet Holmgren, like the real card, IRL card?
Yeah, real life basketball card.
Okay. And what's your favorite basketball team again?
The Oklahoma City Thunder.
And isn't that what a strange coincidence that you pull Chet then?
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what you've heard about 2K24, is there something that's got you more excited than anything else?
I think the thing that gets me most excited is actually the whole salary cap, because that's going to be one of the huge grinds to do.
Absolutely. It's a whole mode because, limited was its whole game mode. If you wanted to play 5-on-5 basketball, it was either against the CPU, unlimited, limited, or clutch. And they took away limited, so the salary cap. My
first limited win was back on 2K22 when it was during the All-Star game to get Opal SGA.
Okay. There you go. So you've been collecting Thunder cards for a while then, couple years. So does the new format of MyTeam make you change your approach with no auction house, or are you just going to attack it like you always do and see what happens?
I'm just going to attack it and see what it can do.
All right, I like that. Well, I appreciate you hopping up here, Isaac. Do you have a couple of shout-outs for us if we're talking about co-op or even content creation? Any shout-outs you want to do? How about that?
I know one of the big shout-outs is going to be Spontaneous Jay, because he's been collecting those holographic cards.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
And another shout-out is to my buddy Evan, because he was working, because that first OU game was one of the craziest blowouts ever.
Oh, and that's the Oklahoma football team.
Yeah.
Evan, did you see that game?
What one?
The Oklahoma football game.
Yeah, I was there. I was working. It was a great game.
Oh, you were working there? Okay. Awesome. I figure I had to pop you up here real quick because Isaac was giving you a shout out.
Oh, thank you, man. You're sweet.
You saw I got to bring you in on that.
Yeah.
I know. That's what friends are for.
Exactly.
And we do have an update for bowling. It will be coming back on September 12th.
September 12th, the bowling league is back.
Yep.
Excellent. I was curious about that. It feels like it's about time. You know, the leagues change, and Isaac and Evan are bowling.
Back into basketball.
All right, I like it. I like it. And that's what we're here for. Talk about a little basketball. So, and great shout outs, great basketball shout outs. And that's how you pass in basketball. And so
Yeah.
we're gonna pass it over to Stogie now. See how he's doing. And I appreciate you, Isaac.
Hey, I appreciate you.
Stogie, how you doing tonight?
Tim, I'm doing all right, man. How are you?
I'm doing great. Doing great. I'm like through the roof about 2K24, which is probably a bad way to be, but being a Viking fan, being a Minnesota Viking fan, I know what going all in every year with your hopes and dreams. So I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I follow you, just not with the Vikings.
Yeah, see, you got the Bills situation as well.
That's right. That's right. Tim, first, this is dangerous giving me controls here, man. Like, it's like giving my kids like a VCR. Like, they don't know what to do with it, but there's buttons.
Hey,
You just want to hit them.
Hey, that's right. Hey, co-host is a big deal. All right, co-host. So yeah, I'll give you the keys
It's
to the.
dangerous, man.
So if I ever
Playing
get
with
kicked
fire.
out, yeah, you just take it wherever you want. That's fine.
Just hit buttons?
Yep,
All right.
it becomes your space, and we'll see where it goes.
All right.
How about a recent win from you? Recent win.
Well, it wasn't a win while I was doing it, but it's a W now that it's done. I've been putting off staying in my deck, but I had to get done before the weather changes around here, and it's done. And if I didn't get it done before 24 came out, I'm pretty sure I would have gone into the season with an unstained deck. So it's not a win in terms. Many people won't take that as a W, but for me, just it being done and not hanging over my head anymore, it's a huge W.
It
And
is.
I kept putting it off.
Oh no, that's huge. And yeah, household chores like that just stare at you every day.
Yeah, it was tough, because PlayStation Plus put out this lawn mowing simulator game for free. It's tough to put it down. Get outside and start staying in my deck, man. The landmark edition, Tim. It's even got its own edition.
Ah, jeez. I wonder if there's a staining the deck expansion pack on that.
There might be. It's an add-on.
Ah, that's pretty good. That's pretty. And then I get kicked again. Reconnect. Yep. If my mic ever mutes, that means I got kicked, and I'm trying to figure out how to get back in.
I figured as much.
Yeah. But and that's tough to explain why your deck isn't stained, but you have the record for best lawn care on the PlayStation.
Yeah, I had to put it down.
Yeah. Okay. So back to 24. Back to the real stuff. We've been talking a lot about what's changed from 23 to 24. I know the auction house is a big one, but from what you've seen, what's most impactful to you?
Well, what's most impactful, I guess, and since we've all been giving shout-outs to Cabrillo tonight, is Cabrillo called it a couple months ago. It's the auction house and it not being available in 24. Last year I had a good opportunity to build up MT pretty quickly with a method I hope to share with the community this year. I'm not going to have that chance this year. But I had a lot of in-game currency from a particular method that I use, so not being able to do that this year, I'm going to have to look at different ways to acquire players outside of grinding for the ones that are available. But also I'm interested to see how that player market works. There's some things without having the game in my hand, they don't kind of add up. Like with MT, for example, we'll have the opportunity to earn more, and it says, in the courtside report, double. But then you look at a Ruby quick sell, and that's like 35 times the cost of a regular Ruby. So that math doesn't really add up. And when they have control of the market and the currency, I'm interested, let's call it intrigued, and speculating at this point as to what they're going to do. Jimmy was talking about, WWE and how they had more locker codes or events. Maybe they'll add more moments. Something maybe to offset that player market a little bit and include more reward cards, which would be great. I would love having the opportunity to grind out for them or simply just put in a code. So that auction house not having the ability to grow MT organically and purchase whatever cards I'd like, it's going to be rough adjustment. But I think that with, like I said, because in my mind it's not adding up, I think that there's going to be more rewards this year, and that's really intriguing, and that would be a fun part of the game for me at least.
Oh yeah, because there's different mini games and stuff. There was another tweet that they put out about just the My Team of different things. They're talking about shoe boosts and stuff. So it seems like there's got to be other ways, and maybe this sell for 28,000 MT. Maybe that's not correct, because it seems like that's a lot for a Ruby.
Yeah, I agree, but we're not going to know until a couple of days.
Struggling over here, YouTube. Struggling over here. All right, I'd apologize to YouTube again. So you said you had a plan. There was a method you were hoping to share in 24 that you were able to do in 23. So,
that's correct.
So I guess the question is, does this change your approach to content creation for 24?
Well, that was one of the things I wanted to share. Yes, was how I was able to get MT pretty quickly last year, but I'll find something that should be captivating, I think, at least. I mean, a lot of the things I did last year, really the only thing I did really was showing people how to tackle some XP agendas, and those aren't going to be there either. But as I had mentioned earlier, there's going to be opportunities for rewards. There's going to be seasonal rewards. There's event rewards, and being able to make my way through those and hopefully share the most what I think will be the efficient way through them. I still plan on doing that. So losing the auction house part is only a small L. There's still a lot. We don't even know what's in the game, to be honest with you. So I mean, who knows what you can be creating? Yeah,
kind of a shift of gears, a change of pace type thing.
You got to adapt.
Yeah,
I think most people will very quickly.
Yep. Yeah, that's what we do. We adapt when we first got into the My Team mode, had to figure out how it went. So when you do create content, where can people find you at?
Well, right now it's primarily on X.
Okay.
I'm really hoping in 24 to expand on that. Maybe get on Twitch and stream a little bit. Get some more videos out on YouTube. We'll see what happens. I will be doing more than just X. That much I know.
All right, I like that. That's good, and that's again, you never know what you're gonna do, because you might find something in the game that all of a sudden you're gonna make the YouTube video and that's gonna be your thing. Just making a YouTube series about that. You never know. You never know. I appreciate you being my co-host tonight, Stogie, and I do have a couple of questions at the end. I'll get your shout-outs at the end as well.
Okay, sounds good.
Now, how about shout-outs now? Shout-outs now, the final question at the end. That, because I'll forget, and then I'll feel terrible. So if I forget questions, I'm fine. But if I forget shout-outs, then I feel bad. So if we're talking co-op style shout-outs, 2 people that you want to shout out.
Well, I'm gonna, if you don't mind, I'm gonna shout out a couple people for other reasons. Because in terms of co-op,
100%,
it's gonna be in real life friends, and especially with crossplay now, it will mostly be with my son and my nephews. But there's 2 people I would like to shout out. One of them, I'm glad they're in here, is Green Lantern Gaming. The guy, he's been with me, been supportive since I came into the community. No matter what I'm doing, whether I was making videos or if I was doing card art or I was doing a giveaway, whatever it may be, he's been very supportive. So I wanted to certainly shout out him. And then one last shout out would be to Project Elevate. He recently shared some encouraging words with me, and he didn't have to do that, and I appreciated it very much. And also, I heard him say something on his podcast that he shares with Calmly Meach and Spatial Jones that kind of reined me in. That Spatial Jones and him were talking about learning from your own and others' missteps to avoid your words being taken out of context or being grouped in with like trolls. He particularly said, it's not important, that he didn't need the engagements that badly. And recently somebody was really pressing every button I had in a series of tweets. And it took a lot for me not to really get engaged with them, but I particularly remember listening to him and Spatial talk about that on their podcast. And I just muted myself out of the conversation and just, let it be. But I don't know if I would have done that had I not have listened to that podcast, and that was kind of resonating in the back of my head, because he was certainly proud of me.
Oh, there you go. It's crazy how things work out like that. That you hear something, and a couple different times this last year in the space, I'd read something, and that would be the quote. That would be the intro. Somebody tweeted something, and I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I love that. And that goes back to there's so many awesome people in this community that you don't know where you're going to find inspiration or motivation or information. It's a pretty cool thing we got going.
I agree.
Yeah. And another really cool person I know that's going to help me dominate my career side of 2K24 is Heck. Heck, how you doing tonight?
Yo.
What's up, Ted? I sent a tweet the other week saying that I had no idea that you knew as much about Park as you did. And I still stick to that. So I'm glad I became your friend when I did. Because you're going to be a vault of information.
Yeah, that's what I hope to be. Plan on, if you guys want to get into my career and the Park side of things, I have a lot of that information ready for y'all, and hopefully it'll be all helpful.
Yes.
That's my, that's what I hope to do is try to bridge the gap between the guys that know a lot and the guys that don't know as much.
Well, so far it's been awesome. Some of your tweets, though, I look for the translate tweet button at the bottom of it, because I'm like, that's. I'm gonna have to break this down into sections. But it's the best talk. It's information. It's stacked with information that you don't have to search for it. And that's it. If anybody wants information on 2K, whether it's Park or my team, make sure you follow Heck. This is for YouTube, Heck. And please follow, and subscribe. Yep, there you go. See, I got to get that out there.
Follow me now.
That's right. So how about a recent win for you? Recent win.
Okay, so I won. I had one awesome win. I won the Spatial Jones and Muse giveaway. I won Hall of Fame. I mean, what's the championship or whatever edition it is? A copy of 2K and
Okay.
and a battle pass, a paid battle pass, the $20 joint.
And a battle pass. Okay. So
I went from having the bare bones 2K or planning on playing the bare bones 2K and just grinding my way to having a nice little head start, because the battle pass has the level skips, so I get to kind of coast through the levels a little bit, kind of the luxury life.
how do you see you attack? Are you going my career first or my team first? I wanted to ask you in particular, and you don't have to lock in your answer, but because it seems like, just to me, it seems like my career is the move, because you can work on your player while you're leveling up both. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it really depends, right? Like if I'm talking to the average consumer that I would advise them to wait before they create a player. It's quite an investment of time and energy, and you want to make sure that you make the appropriate decisions when you create a player, because it's a very complex system, especially this year. It's really based on play style, and there's a lot of changes, so it's hard to get advice on anything right now because it's still fresh. So I would advise the average user to at least to stay away from creating a player.
Okay.
And wait until 2K Labs cooks and guys like me get the information to pass it on over what are the best bang for your buck investments for ratings and animations. It really does depend a lot on that. So, I mean, if you feel comfortable just creating a guy and you don't really care, I mean, I think it's not a bad idea, but I would advise.
No, I'll mess up. I'll mess up my first build. I messed up, and my son will tell you about it. I messed up my rebirth from 2K20. I think I made some kind of lock. Oh, it was terrible. And I tried to run him. And it was just the worst build you'd ever seen. Yeah, just because I watched a video. Yeah. So maybe you're right. See, I was all gung ho about hopping into Park, but I would be the one to mess up like 3 builds in a row.
Yeah, you see, I'm going to be the builder nerd, and I'll be in the builder the first couple days, just messing around, and in between probably playing some MyTeam, just to get used to the mechanics and get a feel for the game and like try to get an understanding of what I like, what my place is in the game, and then I'll translate some of that information to create a guy. That. I think that's like plus you get to learn some animations and stuff. I think it's not a bad idea to just hop in there and try to get a feel for the game and then come out and then create your player based on what you experienced.
Oh yeah. Oh. And so if we're dabbling in my team, of what you've seen that's changed, because it's Jimmy said different 74 times when we were talking earlier. So of what you've seen that's changed, is there anything that's got you excited or more impactful for you?
Man, I don't. All right, so I wanted to comment on the whole WWE thing because it was like when I was hearing it, I was like, because if it's like WWE, we're gonna be very unhappy. And I don't mean to bear of bad news, bro, but like the quick sell value of cards in WWE is minuscule to the pack cost. And so if we have that kind of like system that feels like a Ponzi scheme, everybody's going to want, like, you're going to feel like you have to spend money or you're going to have to use free players. But if you like quick sell 100 rubies to get a diamond, it really isn't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But from what I saw in the blog, it does not suggest that. I'm just saying that if it is like that, because if the quick sell for a ruby is whatever, 18K, whatever, it's hard to believe a pack is going to be 100K. I mean, it could be. And one thing I wish they would tell us is how much the cost of MT was, because I think that's an important thing to know before getting on the game. Especially like one of the pre-sale gifts for the championship edition is additional MT. It would be nice to know what the monetary value of that bonus is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. That's huge. That's a huge missing amount of information as far as what the value per dollar is for MTVC and how it applies to cards.
Yep. Because my concern with the market, I'm sure the usual market auction house head, like the Stogies, the spontaneous Jays, is, are we going to get value out of these quick sales? Are we going to be feeling like we have to buy things in order to, to enjoy collecting? Like how many things do I have to quick sell in order to get like a ruby? You know what I mean? Like that's a big question for me, and definitely really is going to impact how much time I spend on the game, or at least in the game mode.
Oh yeah. It's a different world, and the how they match up with each other. What's the value of an MT? That's the biggest question, because nobody likes to feel like they have to spend money.
Nope.
And
even the guys that spend money, they don't like feeling.
Yeah.
They don't like feeling like they're being pressed for it.
Yep.
That's That's how you get angry people on Twitter.
Yeah. See, and that's half of Twitter, so that's good. And and the other half say, hey, if you don't want to spend the money, don't. And you find the happy medium. You try to, at least.
Then you got the guys. I don't spend money at all. Why do you have such a hard time spending money? Okay.
Yep. That's.
I mean, all of us have different motives, you know. Like,
yep. Pulling up to the stoplight, the guy next to you with a nicer car, and you give him the finger. Just because. Hey, it's like, whoa, what was that for, huh? Just because you say no. You're in a car. Everybody's in their own lane. Everything's good.
Yeah.
So when you see the changes, does it change your approach to content creation?
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of what we did was auction house based.
Yeah, a lot.
I mean that was what I was really good at. But I mean, I can play the game. It's just like I don't see where it's at right now since I haven't touched the mode and I don't see where my lane is yet. Mm-hmm. But right now it's only shared. Like basically, I only see myself sharing what what I just acquired, and that kind of, I don't know, it seemed kind of bums me out because that's what we just do anyway. It's just going to be the same thing for everybody.
How many of us are going to tweet the deal of the day?
Yeah, exactly. We're just going to be like, oh, this is today's content, and wow, look at my free pack. It gave me this crappy card.
Hey.
And look, I just grinded for Kyrie Irving. Ooh.
And then they dropped Jay Williams retro card, who's better than Kyrie the next week. But that's what we do. That's why we love it, right?
Heck, don't talk bad about Otis Thorpe, right? I don't want that slander here.
And Jay couldn't even get an Otis Thorpe at the end, which was rough. Yeah, it's different. Real quick, I didn't mean to cut you off, Heck, but I had a question for you as far as, because you're a streamer. I've been in your streams. No, I can prove it. I can prove it. But Park is huge as far as streaming. And I'm just saying. I'm not putting two and two together. I'm just saying. I don't know. Okay, now go ahead. You were saying something.
Well, I was gonna say another huge change for content for me is the database. Like they're saying, since the changes in the animations in terms of pro play means that 2KDB is only reporting on current gen, and so next gen is going to be an interesting leap, right? Because we're not going to know if the SIGs are 1-to-1, if they match. Like the SIGs might be different. Like the research that we do might not apply, and that's kind of that's an interesting proposition also, because that was a good amount of what I shared, hoping to bridge the gap between Park and my team players. If people know the SIGs, they'll be like, oh, I know that SIG from my creative player, and I'll hop into my team, or vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's going to be interesting.
Yep. That was a big thing that I noticed even back, following you for 2K23, that you knew what SIGs were good, what's the shots to look for, what stuff to look for. And so it was already on the back of my mind. I was thinking, man, if I ever need to make a jump shot, I'm going to ask Heck what I should make.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know how to use all of them, but I know what they are.
There you go. Hey, I know how to use less of them. So that's what it's all about. All right. So I appreciate your input. I know this is a MyTeam side of the space, but I do appreciate your insight into my career, because I do think I'm going to be asking you a lot of things about this. And maybe I don't know what your status is as far as playing Park, but hey, maybe one of us ends up qualifying for some kind of logo tournament. We need a teammate, huh?
True.
Wouldn't that be?
I'm personally, I won't be signing up, because I don't know if I want to put myself through that. The 1v1 for season 1 sounds kind of crazy. Like,
yeah, you do. You love that stuff. You love the sweat. I haven't seen you play too much, but I bet you've flash paused a little bit, right?
No, I only do that to people that do it to me.
Okay.
That's my quota. Like if somebody does it to me though, I do it 100 times worse. Like I'm so toxic that it's like when Most did that video where he barking into the remote. Yeah, that's like I get extra toxic when somebody, like, I don't know, it just triggers me when somebody tries to taunt me.
Okay, so one flash pause. You're calling all your fouls. You're using all your timeouts. You're doing settings.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. I'm stalling the hell out of you. You're gonna learn your lesson. You're not gonna troll anymore. I'm the troller of the trolls.
Yep, you're in for an evening now, bud. This is it. You and me. All right, we'll shout you out, Heck. So I do have a question at the end, but if you could shout out two people, for whatever reason, who would they be?
Shout out to let me see, Ramsey and Jimmy Crack. Those guys are they stay encouraging me, so I always appreciate the encouragement and their support. They're W mans.
They are. They're huge. Yeah, they've been encouraging me as well. And speaking of other encouragement, the next guy we have up, and shout out Allie. Allie's under the weather tonight, so she couldn't be part of it, but she is part of this team moving forward. And plus, we will add other speakers. We had the perfect amount tonight because I got Jimmy waffling, which I always love to do. Because now I feel like I'm smarter at 2K24 my team. Another guy I feel smarter after I talk to is Spontaneous Jay. How you doing tonight, Jay?
I'm doing very well. How are you all doing? Great to see you all here. Those of you who have traveled to different time zones, I wish you safe travels back. And I think it's just the anticipation is what I always love, right? It's the waiting to go on a first date, waiting to get the game released, waiting to get, have your first kid be born into your family. So I like to dwell on the anticipation as restless as it feels, because this is the moment when we don't know what the future is going to bring yet, and we have hope and we have energy. So just live in the space. It's a little bit uncomfortable, but we don't get many moments like this. So we'll have a fun time heading into the rest of the week.
Oh yeah. It's good. The anticipation is good. Yeah, it's good to have something to look forward to because it's like kickoff of football season. You never know what's going to happen. So how about a recent win for you, Jay? Recent win.
I think my recent win IRL that I just want to share and show love and appreciation back for the community is I was a little bit hesitant to share a lot of my IRL stuff, as many of you know. But on Friday, I decided to kind of explore some different work venues, different cultures, meeting different people. So I just decided to tweet a picture of my tie. And I thought it was, maybe one person was going to like it, but just the amount of people that just jumped in and us seeing how we feel like when Shake said he's coming back, this community is amazing. So I think the win is just being part of all of you guys and being able to enjoy this every day throughout the ups and downs of the game, the ups and downs of life. It's just, thank you all. I just want to thank you. And when you guys are going through stuff in your lives too, I know privacy is so important, but just know that we're here for all of you as well. Share your wins with us. We want to like and retweet it. And if you're going through a rough patch, DM us. We're here for you too.
100%. Yeah, couldn't have said it better. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool what other people have built, what we've contributed to, what you guys have built, what I've tried to help contribute to. We do have a pretty cool thing going right now. It's above and beyond the video game. It's been neat. So yeah, that's a great win, huge win. And now that's a huge thing. Let's talk about the video game again, huh? Back to 2K24. We've seen a lot of different changes. We've seen a lot of things that are different from 23 to 24. And if, in your opinion, in your mind, what's most impactful to you?
I think there's two approaches, and I appreciate the things that you said, that Jimmy said, Heck, and Stogie said so far. Very interested to hear Ramsey jump up next, and welcoming any of you all who want to jump up and speak and request too. I know all of you have great experiences, great journeys. I think for me, obviously, the auction house being gone is a part of the game I enjoyed. It was the way I got hollows. So, but I think the two big things that I really like about the game, one is the word play. Like for me, I didn't want to grind the game anymore. I didn't want to grind 24 the same K I grinded 23. I'm honestly so little burnt out, so I'm looking for different ways to play the game. So I like that the XP is a choice for people to pay for it. It's a choice for people to play any modes. So we almost kind of can passively not think about it, and when we organically get it or people want to buy it, then we just get it, and we add Kyrie to our team, and that's great. So I really like that that's that play aspect of it. What I would say specifically to the auction house, especially for all of you all who do share your methods, do share your content, I'm going through this discovery process myself, is the auction house made 2K, my team, P2P, player to player, right? So the content that we made, or sometimes, as you say, Stogie, when we have our methods, do you think I tweeted about my ornament ball method when I was done or when I was starting it? It was, of course, at the end when I was done, right? So what I think is different about my team and the currency this year, and heck, you brought up some great points, because the exchange rate and the how we get MT and how we spend it is the key to success this year or its downfall. But the game is not P2P anymore. It's just we are all playing our own isolated account. So I think what I am looking forward to is that the content that I share, the content that all of you make, I challenge you all to think of it as it's not player to player anymore. We're not in a shared where we're able to move cards, sell cards with each other. So the content has to be driven by the earliest any of us finds a meta. It's not a hack. It's like a way to maximize our progression in the game. I think it'll be about everyone's jumping on that bandwagon and we all roll downhill. Because if we don't do that, it'll be an uphill battle. But I think if we shift our attention towards, well, I don't want to share this method because I don't want too many people to know about this method, then the profits go down. It's not about that anymore. So as we find any little thing we can do to improve our ability in this game to do more with it, whether it's to buy more players, whether it's to upgrade things, I think that's what we got to share ASAP. And if someone shares it with me, I'm happy with it. And if I find something, I'm happy to share it with y'all too.
Good point. Good point. We're back to creating the social end of it. You know, because sniping against each other was it was a community thing. You know, who got this snipe? Tweet this snipe. I got this. Oh, I was on this filter. Oh man, you know it's different. So does it change your approach to content creation?
I don't think so. I think being on Twitter, it's a place where Twitter has changed quite a bit, I would say, for most of you who've been on it in the 2K community for a while. I think X and the monetization changed the content we see. It changed the views we get. And it's a new space right now, and I don't think it'll go back to where it was. So I think at the same time that 2K23 changed to 24, the whole monetization and the ability for all of us to grow, like, heck, you've been super growing like crazy, so congrats to you on that. Matt, you grew like crazy on YouTube this year. I'm just so happy for you guys, all of you guys growing. So I think there's more ways for us to grow this year, but I think X and TikTok and all these platforms will continue to change. So I'm not a one-trick hollow pony. I like to share different thoughts. A lot of what I do in my biggest tweets have been concept things that aren't in the game yet. So I really want to lean forward into that. And if you all have great ideas, and we hear a lot of these great ideas in the community, what I want to do is I want to make a visual of it, because a lot of times people connect with a visual, and having that maybe influence something that then is added to the game later on is still going to be my bread and butter, because I love making people do those double takes and say, hey, wait, I don't see that hollow or that Evo. Where is that? And they're like, we should get that, shouldn't we? You know, so I think that's the part of 2K that I still enjoy. It's what could be. So that's the content that I'm probably going to be prioritizing on.
Yeah, I do look forward to more beyond level 40s and such from you. You had some good ones. You had some good ones last year.
Still trying to get those WNBA players, man.
Yep. And what was it? The flawless Pippin or something that you got? It's for double points, double the XP
the
points.
hollow Pippin or something like that.
Yeah. That's fun. That's great content. That's great content there. I enjoy that kind of stuff. And you're right. A lot of things did change. But it's cool that I guess now that I've been coming on, a year of being here on X and Twitter, seeing a lot of my friends just doing their thing, handling their business, killing it. It's awesome to be part of, even if it's just being part of by proxy. It's...
Yeah, and Tim, you've done so much. I mean, saying you've done so much almost feels like an understatement. I still remember the first couple spaces I went into to meet you and so many other people here and just see how consistent everyone is. I think that's a word that I really find inspiration in all of you, is how consistent all of you are in your own ways, getting through the big wins, the big milestones, getting monetized, this and that, and also taking a break. So I think just to your point, all of us being so consistent, but also knowing what.
Oh, so close too. So close.
You're not having Mother Nature issues.
Oh, I'm back. Sorry.
Hello.
Hey, I you were saying something that Heck was doing great, I think. That's what it was. Heck was doing great.
Yep.
No, I appreciate the kind words, Jay. But it's because of you guys have been so much fun to hang out with. That's what it is. It's like if we had a 2K poker night, that's what Tuesday is for me. Tell the wife, hey, I'm hanging out with my buddies. That's what we're doing, and not, hanging around a table playing cards, but just as close as we can get. It's been quite an adventure. So shout out you, Jay. But if you were to shout out a couple of people officially, I know you've had a couple other shout outs here, but if you were official shout outs.
I think 2 was the number you were putting out there, so I'm going to answer 2. I think the 2 people I want to shout out represent more than their community. I just want to shout out SP2K and Jay Grimes. The content they gave us over the last couple of years, the communities and the hundreds of people they would get on live streams doing their work, the time they put into sniping, hours and hours of it, and the hours that we don't see when nothing shows up on the filter. So even though the era has gone, I think Jacob said it best on the podcast, it's like we just got to celebrate that it happened. I know those guys are going to do great things in whatever they go on to next, or they might find a way to still do what they're still doing, but I just want to shout out SP and Jay Grimes. Just great community team members, and the sniper community too.
Oh yeah, and doing it for a while. Yeah, entertaining. But again, people that you see that are entertaining, that you think they'll be able to shift gears pretty seamlessly and figure out what their next niche is.
No doubt.
Just like Flawless J now. I guess that's the new moniker. We're moving right past Hollow J to Flawless J, I hear.
I appreciated that kind of shout out by Jazz. When I went back to do my mural, I was kind of Flawless J this year. I just didn't call it that. But I think the new moniker, the new hashtag next year, isn't going to be like buy hollows, not packs. I think it might be sell hollows, make bread. What do y'all think? Can I get an emoji there? If y'all agree, like that's the new hashtag or the new slogan. Sell hollows, make bread.
Sell hollows.
Because that's what. Yeah.
I like that.
See, here's the thing about the auction house that Heck talked about that I have a curiosity when the player market opens is today in the token market. I've still been doing this. I've still been playing 2K23. I've been redeeming, locking in for like 500 tokens and then mass opening these free agent packs trying to get like a hollow Blake Griffin free agent card that I'll never use because the game is over. I hope that the player market gives us some repeatable purchases, right? So if I decide to buy Ruby Devin Booker, and let's say I want to sell him before the 3 weeks and his value goes down, or I want to sell him and see if I can buy another one, but if I buy a second one, is there another chance of him becoming hollow? Because if that repeatable process is in there, you can bet I'm going to start collecting hollows again when those prices come down and I can repeat buy. But if those workflows aren't there, then it would be hard because what is it? Just limit one, and then so how would you do collector level if you sell something back? So I think there's still a lot of things like Hex said that needs to be worked out. But anything that's accessible with the MT we get from playing the game, and if we could repeat certain things, just like we could repeat grades 3 times now, right? That's a W. I want to see if we can sell a card back and buy that card again, just to see if we can get a ungraded now hollow version of that. So I think a lot will be seen when it comes, and you can bet if that's not in the game, I'm going to be on the mountaintops making a graphic saying, let us repeat buy multiple cards over and over again and lower the prices. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
You'll be making so many graphics, people won't be able to tell what's 2K tweets and what's J cards. You won't even know. So yeah, we made this guy mad. We got to get this corrected, because that's a huge thing. And even the regrading. How much does it cost to regrade, and what are the odds of getting a 10, and is there a benefit of getting a 9 or an 8 or a 7? How does it all add up? Because it seems like that's RNG right there. Trying to get
the biggest uncertainty in all of the 2K is what is truly MT good for, and how much can we earn. We'll have to see really soon.
Yeah, and it's exciting. It's exciting. I'm looking forward to it. And I will have one more question here at the end, Jay. I appreciate you speaking as always. Appreciate you hanging out, agreeing to hang out for this 2K24 on Tuesdays. Another guy I'm appreciative of is Ramsey. When you think co-op, you think Ramsey right away. That's just how it is. Ramsey, how you doing tonight?
I'm good, Tim. How you doing, man?
Good. So your Bama got a win, I hear.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough one this weekend. Ramsey gonna come up out of body this weekend. Y'all might hear me from every state. Yeah, this weekend's a big one.
How about a recent win for you, in particular?
Okay, so a recent win. This weekend, my neighbor, he was out of town, and then they got back from Texas, ironically, because they're from Texas, and he surprised me at work, and then after work we hung out, and we went out and we met some other friends that he had all planned up. So he kind of had like a little, kind of get together group, like friend thing planned up. So it was nice this past weekend. So especially after working on Labor Day, it's kind of annoying. But hey, that check is going in.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, sometimes you got to work on a holiday, especially with 2K24 coming out. Now that you have to buy season passes and stuff to skip levels.
Yeah, right. Yeah, all of that, man.
And I don't know if you're ripping packs in Madden right now too. Gaming is an expensive hobby. It really is.
Yeah. Look, gaming really is. I'm watching the Madden Championship Club Series right now. It's big. It's the tournament. The big guys qualified. Something like this for 2K would be nice. And I know they got ideas, so that's nice to see.
Yeah, because they hired a whole tournament company to partner with them.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure. Listen, there's no doubt in my mind that 2K is. I know they didn't say much, and I know that was a big aspect put in the air, but I think they'll come up with something. At least they're gonna have something,
Yeah.
Let's just wait and see.
You'd hope so. I'm hoping, because they took out, if they take out the 250K, which was a big draw for everybody, and if they could break it up, because tournaments are, no matter what it is, a tournament where you get to watch some competitive play brings eyes on the game.
Exactly, because anybody, we all say we're this and that, we feel this and that, but we all want to see that. You want to see that.
And you're scrolling Twitter and you see Ty. If you saw Ty Wager versus Splash, you're gonna click on that.
Right, exactly.
That's just comp. We like watching comp gameplay, and especially with a tournament, it gets the bigger names into it, and hopefully they do something like that. But you never know. And I know you've been playing a lot of Madden and teaching the 2K community the ins and outs of that. But also there's been a lot of information as far as 2K24 MyTeam.
Yeah, I've been seeing that here and there during the spaces and learning the different I'm telling you, I really like the addition of the 94 feet badge. I don't know, that's just full court press. Being a Carolina guy, man, I don't know. Roll your shorts up and give me a stop. I like that.
I like that. And so you probably never were big into the auction house much, from what I know of you.
I learned from you and Heck. I mean, hey, you and Heck were the guys. I mean, other than trying to listen, I used to support Hollow J and SB2Ks in what they were doing. I was never gonna sit there and say, that's why I give them so much credit, because people don't really understand how much time, like, you actually spend time out of your day, like, trying to snipe. And when you do it and you get good at it, it's really fun to watch. Like, it keeps you entertained to watch. So I knew my realm, and I just, stayed in it.
Yeah,
it's just co-op sweating.
Yeah, auction house menu grinding isn't for everybody. Co-op grinding. That's the name of your game. I've seen you evolve your game to play with everybody.
Yeah.
And now everybody includes PlayStation.
That's gonna be the interesting factor now. I cannot wait to just see what that brings, because I've already seen it from the aspect of PS and Xbox on Madden, and like it's funny because us Xbox guys, we've seen all the guys who play on PS. All they do on PS is run the ball. That's it. Now they don't put that thing in the air. It's not going in the air. I don't know what it is. They run that ball, because I don't know if it's the factor that if they put it in the air, it's picked off, but they do not put it in the air at all. Anybody I played on PS, they did not put it in the air. I'm like, all right, well, it's gonna be that type of game, So it'd be interesting to see what type, knowing how you've watched them play, but not on your own system. So now playing with them, it's gonna be very, very interesting.
Yeah, the game's changing. The game's changing now with crossplay and the co-op and the single player co-op, which is nice, where you just get in line, which would be.
I think that is one of the biggest factors that's going to keep everything together.
Yeah, and I hope it's like a squad fill situation, like if you have two people that you guys can join and get your squad filled. Because some people can really exploit the CPU defense when you're playing co-op short-handed.
Right. Now, the only thing with that is going to be interesting, because you get a random, but it's like, one, you're going to have to learn their game and get familiar very quick, because I'm telling you right now, co-op is real fun. Until that communication get out the window, you know me, I'm like, what? Whoa, wait, back up, what's going on? I'm like, listen, y'all better let me know when y'all shooting it. What's going on? I'm the bit, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting.
Oh yeah.
To see.
It's gonna be fun. It's a new mode.
I think it's gonna be interesting just to see how many, like when the 8th comes and everybody who pre-order can play. It's gonna be interesting to see everybody. I will say this: I didn't forget what I challenged everybody for the past 2 weeks to do on drop day. You better go to somebody else's chat you've never been before. Go outside your comfort zone. Yep.
I like that. Yeah.
Everybody, whatever. You're gonna see Hollow J and everybody or whoever around the different Twitch streams. Yes, but as well, go visit somebody you haven't seen before, because you never know who you might meet. You never know what relationship you could build, and that could gear up the rest of your 24 for you.
Yep, and that's funny, because I brought up one kind of the same thing back in one of the first couple of spaces about picking a different streamer and watch them, because there's so many good content creators out there, and especially I like what you said. Hop into somebody fresh, new game 2K24 and see if you vibe with them, because man, the vibes in the community are easy to find. Both the negative and positive. both, and you don't know what the vibes are until you hop in somebody's news chat.
Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you. I mean, it's a new start for everything.
And
I
not
think
saying Ramsey that you had a content creation plan, but does all these new changes to 2K24 MyTeam, does it change your approach to content creation in any way?
not really at all. I'll just maybe it just factors in like what I may hone in on one thing or another thing instead of maybe focusing on this and that right away. Okay. Depends on how the year goes.
I like that. I like that vague lawyer answer. Not locking into anything. Yep. I like that.
Something
it might
like
affect a little here and there of a something, but you never really know. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, you know.
All right.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see.
So where would you, if you did decide to create content, where do you see? Because of course on the X, you can follow you on the X. You're killing it here.
Yeah, on Twitter, I'll be on, if I stream, when I stream, it would probably be on Twitch, and then I'll be on TikTok. Definitely on TikTok, because I got a lot of game clips I've been getting together.
Okay.
And stuff. So it's been some prep work, because like I said, I'm not gonna do that. It would be nice to do it just to have everybody say, hey, you did it, but I'm like, I don't want to half-ass it. It's either gonna be 100% or not at all,
Oh, I hear you. I respect that. You want to be in your right zone. You want to be in your right comfort zone. And Spontaneous Jay, I don't think I asked where you created content. Now that I'm thinking about it. And if I did, will you say where people can find you again?
X and Twitch and TikTok is good.
Okay, X and Twitch and TikTok. Spontaneous Jay. All right. Okay. Back to Ramsey. Sorry, that just came up in my mind. I was like, did I ask Jay that? So Ramsey, shout you out for being a co-op sweat. But if you were going to shout out two people for anything, any reason, who are you shouting out?
So the two people I'm gonna shout out tonight are okay, this is how I'm gonna do this, and I'm laughing when I do this because it's just funny to me to see literally how far we've come with all the growing pains. I'm gonna shout out yourself, Tim, and Heck, because you two dudes, man, hella high water, you gonna deal with me until it's over, like I told you. So it's just funny to see because of how bad I was like, y'all think y'all can't hang with these young guys? Fuck out of here. I used to tell them, like, I used to legit tell them, like, I don't give a damn if you think you're this and that. You can't do this and that. You gonna do it, and I told you so. Kind of forcing their hand, but now seeing where Tim has gotten with this space, and listen, me and Tim are like, think of you throw something and it always coming back, whether like me and Tim are stuck. Like I don't know if it was the IRL that confirmed it, but like he knows hella high water, bump all the other stuff. If stuff gets to popping and I got to get to talking, I'm on the way. Tim knows this, So it is. I'm just so proud of him because he kept it. He got a consistency. I remember when he said, I'm gonna do this day. What do you think about this? And I said, well, if we can make it work for the scheduling, and then it got rolling and it hasn't stopped. It's been ups, there's been downs, but just like just like my uncle Shannon said, there's always a brotherhood there. So shout out Tim, and then oh my God, this man Heck. Listen, y'all don't understand. He's already a Celtics fan. Like I already am like. Do I really like him? So Heck is definitely one of the guys that I'm really proud of to see prosper, going ahead of 24, and I know he's going to keep it in 24 based off of, just him being able to do it. Like, he has the ideas, he just, when he lets it out and decides to let the sauce out to everybody, it's like, damn, this this shit hard, right? Like this shit hard.
How come you never got into Park, Ramsey? How come you never got into Park?
I never got into Park because when I first got out of just playing like your friends, like come over to this house and play your friends. The first mode that I clicked on, ironically by accident, when I ever started was MyTeam. And once I started, I just never stopped. I just saw a mode where I was like, hold on, I can use this player and this player. Now that's not to say I won't get into Park, but I feel like with Park, like I say, I don't want to half-ass it. And if I gotta spend all that time trying to grind Park and all that time to try to keep up with all the content in MyTeam, balancing it, especially when I had Madden growing up, that was just too much for me. I was like, well, I want to do this, and it would be cool to try this, but I also have a whole other game that I'm playing, Mm-hmm. So I was always trying to keep up. Like if I'm going in that mode, then that's the mode that I'm going to dominate, try to dominate mostly. So
it just seems like you talk smack like a Park player. That's just what it seems like.
Listen, I'm a talking, and listen, I will give my credit. Listen, I can get humble, but let me tell you, don't let me win one. Don't let TG found out real quick. Like I locked in for 2 minutes, and he was like, "You in the court?" I locked in with nothing. Man, don't let me get one. That's all I really need. It's over for you. It's over.
Well, one we got this year, Ramsey, was 2K23. I'd appreciate you hanging out, vibing with me this year, for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely fun, man.
And the spaces, and yeah, this year is going to be a blast for sure. And so we'll just swing this back around the horn. Start off with Stogie. Anything that come up with you, anything you learned, or you have to explain your profile picture.
My profile picture, Tim, is pretty easy. I'll go with that route. But I was on a business trip, and I got a layover in St. Paul, and I was looking for some Timberwolves gear for my son, and unfortunately I got stuck in a store selling all Viking stuff. So I took a quick selfie and sent it to old T. Smalls with a little skull attachment to it. And then when I got home, I just had a little bit of my heritage behind that picture. But that's where that picture's from, St. Paul Airport, standing in front of Vikings gear.
Nice.
Just to give you a little shout out from Minnesota, man.
Oh, I appreciate that. And look forward to seeing more of you this year, Stogie.
All right, man. Thank you.
How about you, Heck? Anything that come up? You learn anything from Ramsey, maybe? Or you get to explain your profile picture.
I guess my profile picture that was gifted to me by All City Live TV.
Yeah. You're connected, man. See, I had no idea who you were. A year ago when we were playing baseball, I had no idea who you were. Yeah.
Yeah. So shout out to him, and if you hear this, sub to All City Live TV. We're trying to get him to 100K this year. It'll be cool to see him get his plaque. He deserves it. But yeah, he's been a mentor to me for years, and I started off as me being a supporter of his stuff, and he was at 5K, and he's made a name for himself, and he always encouraged me to do something, and I finally took heed. He's always talking about ain't nothing to it but to do it, But me, I always got to feel things out before I commit. I guess that's my eternal curse, but.
Oh yeah. But doesn't that help you game? That connection that you made with him so long ago is now not just a connection. You guys are bros now.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
It's pretty dope.
Yeah, because just the other day you had a Dunkin' Donuts PFP, and which was cool. It was customized. I like it, but now you're killing it as far as 2K. Heck, that's all I got to say. In the community, on the game, both sides of the game. I'm learning. Every time I talk to you, I learn something new about you. This might be too much. You're probably Ronnie's cousin, I'm going to find out, right?
me and Ronald, who are, we go way back.
Yeah, I figured there was something about you. No, that's awesome. That's above and beyond like a 2K logo that a game can give you for a year. That means something. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Huh.
man. I mean, gaming. I think we all could attest to this. It's a brotherhood. We all support each other. We all share with each other, and it's always nice to have that brotherhood. It's a lot of us. Well, us old heads. We started off this gaming thing with the homies on the couch, and the homies ain't on the couch no more. So this is the homies on the couch.
Yeah. We had to find our own homies because now my homies don't even play basketball, don't even play 2K. So, yeah, my homies that played 2K moved out.
Yeah, a lot of my homies dropped the control, and I still wanted to play.
Yeah,
It was nice to see that there's other folks out here, that are looking for that same kind of experience.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. It's awesome. Keep killing it, man. I'm glad to be associated with you. I feel smarter already. All right.
Thanks.
And hey, I might need somebody. If by chance, you qualify for a logo tournament, my account's legit. My skills might not be legit, but I can qualify. Just say it. Just say it.
You got it.
How about you, Jay? You learn anything from maybe Ramsey or me or anybody else, or a new point to bring up, or maybe we want to talk about your profile picture?
I'm going to keep my profile picture for obvious reasons as a memento to the past and the growth who I got to become. The thing I learned, it's from you, it's from Ramsey, it's from all you. I think I touched on this earlier. It's just you never know who's out there supporting you. And, people who are liking you, your tweets or supporting your channels or subbing to you, I just think I relearned all the time how impressive this community is. And I'm glad I had to learn that again because y'all gave me strength this week. I've been going through a lot. And just know that we're all here for you too. If you're out there and you need that support, that's what I learned, and I appreciate learning that every day.
That's awesome. And good luck. For your ties. I know that's big. It's a big step for you to take that. To not peel back the curtain much, but a lot for somebody as private as you. So good luck to you on getting that success. I know it's coming. You hang out with people like Ramsey, good things happen, right? Ramsey.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. All right. So. We
Go
went
ahead.
around the horn, and now we ended up back on you. So it may be something that you learned, or maybe you can tell us about your profile picture.
Helped me get through a lot, but they didn't help me more than I'm going to give a shout out. It's going to be a selective group. They know who they are. I call them my old man crew because I've learned so much from them in the last year. But I think through all of asking and prying at different things, they've helped me with my patience. Because there's been a lot of times that I will see something in the chat or something, and I'm like, if I went the fuck off right now, they would be like, Ramsey went off.
Ramsey, hey, for YouTube, remember, let's watch the...
Oh, yeah, sorry, yes, yeah, went the bleep off, But yeah, they kept me grounded for the most part.
That's good.
They kept me grounded.
So that's huge. That's huge. And it is overtime, and so I typically wouldn't hop another speaker in here. But Green Lantern, somebody I respect, I've really enjoyed getting to know you. So you request to speak. I'd like to say what's up to you. How you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm good, man. How's everybody in the space? Hope everybody's enjoying themselves as always.
What's up, Green Lantern? How you doing?
Oh man, I can't call it Jay. How about yourself?
Carolina over happy you're here, man. I know. Sports is ups and downs, brother.
Right.
Since I got you up here, how about a recent win real quick then from you, huh?
Oh
Recent
man,
win.
I posted a recent win.
Oh, did you?
Just crossed 600 followers.
Okay.
That's huge. I didn't think that, when I started out that, mathematically speaking, about 442 active accounts maybe would want to say, look, this dude has said some things that I think I'd like to see what else he has to say. So in that 600 posts, like I said, I hope I've either, made you laugh or at least made you think differently about something. And if so, stay tuned because that's what I'm going to continue to do, or at least strive to.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I've learned a lot from you. I've enjoyed our interactions, whatever space we are at that point.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What of 2K24? What's got you most excited?
Actually, it might be the cross progression of the level 40s. I've said it in other spaces that I think one of the things that kept me from actually, spending a lot of time was when I was in my team. I felt like I wasn't making progress in my career, and when I was in, playing park rec, I'm thinking, dude, I could be getting close to the level 40. So the cross progression, I think, is a way for me to actually not really be too concerned about where I'm spending my time anymore. I've never really was a rep guy. I've hit legend once, 17, 18, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And okay, I did it. I can say I did it, and I can move on. That type of thing.
Was that the one where they brought you in the park on like a helicopter or a zip line or something when you hit legend? Was that one of them things? I don't remember what years that was, but I always thought it was very loud.
Tiger year.
Okay.
What year was that? Tiger year.
Possibly last year. It could have been any one of the years, and I'd believe you. So, they all kind of bleed together for me.
Right. I think it was the first year that you could get a.
Crazy how many times I have to reconnect.
Oh.
But now I'm back.
A lot of great thoughts and comments tonight. But the one thing that I wanted to say, which is why I requested it, is 24 is coming up, and everybody's going to hit the ground running. It's a new year, new me, and all of this and the third. But for anyone who saw the recent post, whether it's what's the word I'm looking for, a sketch or not, about Kai Sent, and just the situation he found himself in a stream. We talked about this in our space. Please make sure you take a time out to take care of your mentals. There's not enough views in the world to be worth losing yourself mentally. If you need to take a break, take a break. The people that rock with you will rock with you. And they'll be back. They'll understand. Hey, look, I get it. He's going through something that he just needs to step away from it for right now. And just don't, Mojo is someone that I know comes prepared. He says, hey, these are going to be my days. This is what I'm going to talk about. He goes in, and that's, if we have to do that, do that. Go in, say, I'm going to stream on these days. If you're not going to stream, or if you feel something's coming up, just say, hey, look, there's not going to be a stream this week. There's not going to be a video this week. And that's it. You don't owe the audience anything outside of notifying, hey, there's not going to be anything.
Yeah.
And if you have to talk it through. But please take care of your mentals. By quote the great Marshawn Lynch, take care of your mentals. Okay.
Great.
That's all I really want to say, Smokes. Thanks for letting me, allowing me that space, man.
What about your profile picture? While I got you up here, what's the significance?
Man, I'm surprised that DC haven't even caught me yet. It's just the actual Green Lantern uniform, the John Stewart uniform. I forget which iteration, but that's all it is.
Okay, all right.
For those that aren't in the know, the Green Lantern Corps covers the spectrum of emotions. But the Lantern Corps, but the Green Lantern itself is about willpower. None of the Lantern Corps do you get to choose to be. You are chosen. So with Green Lantern, for a green ring to come to you means that you've shown yourself to have this willpower to overcome any adversity that may come your way. So the Green Lantern is my favorite DC hero, simply because you can't be a Green Lantern. You have to be chosen. And the reason that you're chosen is because you have this willpower in you. So
that's awesome. I like that. I like that. Yeah, that's the lore of a lot of superheroes is very cool. I can see why it's so popular. It's a lot of things resonate with us, the common folk. When we're even when we're not named a superhero, a lot of us do some super things. And
that's true.
And we don't get recognized unless we put on a cape and say, "Hey, this is what I've done," But hopefully everybody out there sees that you don't have to be a superhero to be recognized. You don't have to do great things to be a good person. You just have to do good things. Keep trying, keep supporting your friends, and look out for your family, and then once all that's in place, then we grind, right? Isn't that what we got to get all of our ducks in a row to grind, and when you grind enough that you start telling other people about grinding, people start following you and they start listening to what you say. So we are in a unique opportunity to not really direct opinions, but help influence opinions. So if this goes for any game, if there's something that we don't like about it, let's do our best to change it and not just attack the issue. We've seen it. We've seen it this year, that it looks like the 2K people are listening to what we say. It seems like they listen to every Our Team podcast, and it's a cool thing. It's a cool place to be. And as I get kicked out again, and I guess, long story short, as I get kicked out again, hopefully I gotta reinstall Twitter or something after this. But everybody that I've watched succeed has believed in themselves. They've formed their own opinions. They've stuck to their guns, and they've treated others with respect. That's what I've seen. And anybody that's quote unquote blows up, the respect that they show other people is awesome. So try to emulate that. The next time we talk, this blows my mind. The next time we talk, it'll be a Tuesday, and we will all have played the heck out of 2K24. So let's talk about what we really know next week. And thanks everybody for being here. Thanks everybody for listening. I can't believe we're already on to 2K24. I'm the luckiest content creator in the community because of the friends I have. So on to 24. Holy cow. I'll see y'all in New Zealand. Thanks everybody for listening. Please like, comment, and subscribe.